Everyone in the media is talking about the most important thing that has ever happened in the history of humanity, or at least since Caitlyn Jenner became a woman, a transgender woman. And that, of course, is the release of Black Panther. It is so deeply important. It is, we've heard it's deeply important to millions of black Americans who, after all, were not liberated from slavery 200 years ago and liberated by the civil rights movement with federal legislation, have not been gradually restored to what always should have been full civil rights in the United States. I mean, none of that has mattered up till they made a Marvel movie about a superhero who is black in a country filled with black people. That is the real, that's the change, right? Blade was not enough. Catwoman with Halle Berry, no. Okay, Wakanda is where it is. This is the most important moment in black American history. Not Martin Luther King, not Frederick Douglass, not the Civil War, not the end of Jim Crow, none of that. Not Brown versus Board. The most important thing is that Chadwick Boseman puts claws on his hands and a mask on his face and runs around jumping off cars in CGI fashion. Deeply, deeply important. Black children everywhere will now believe that they too can be superheroes who jump off cars in fictional countries. But the point is this, right? If you're not telling your kids they can be anything in America, you're doing something wrong as a parent. And if you had to wait until Black Panther came out, right? We heard this about Barack Obama when he was elected too. Now that Obama's been president, black Americans will feel like they too can be president. It's a transformative moment. And yet, all we hear now is that America is deeply racist and black people are still systemically discriminated against, and that black people are still victims in American society. So it turned out it didn't mean anything. When Obama was president, we were told it meant everything. And then he was president for 2 terms, right? Reelected overwhelmingly. And then it turns out it didn't mean anything because we needed Chadwick Boseman to somehow make sure that black people felt accepted in American society because a bunch of white executives at Marvel greenlit a film about black people in a fictional country in Africa. And the insanity that has attended Black Panthers, it's crazy. I'll see the movie this weekend. I hope that it's good because I'm going to spend money on it. So anything I spend money on, I hope is good.
I've seen a lot of garbage from Ben Shapiro, but this may just be probably the most embarrassing one that I've seen. The straw man that he sets up here is almost unattainable, right? He says that I don't know who the fuck he's talking about, but do you honestly believe that there are even like a vocal minority of people who are saying that this is the most important step in black history? He said not Frederick Douglass, who was an abolitionist. He said not Martin Luther King Jr., who was a civil rights activist who died protesting peacefully and kept going. It wasn't the Civil War. It wasn't any of that stuff. Do you honestly believe that there's even a vocal minority who actually thinks that Black Panther is more important in black history than any of those things at all? No one says that. That's massively stupid, dude. Like, people are excited for Black Panther because it's a movie that's set around African Americans. This is not, like, the vast majority of movies are set with a bunch of white people. So why the fuck are you complaining? It's one goddamn movie. And, talking about Obama, again, it's not everything. It's just something that needed to be done. There needed to be a black president for, the glass ceiling, you could say, to be shattered, I guess. You needed that to happen, but that's not everything at all. It's not even close to everything. Just because one person gets elected into office doesn't mean that everything is solved, and nobody claimed that either. They claimed that it would be a big step forward. However, that would not be even close to the end. And anybody who denies that racism is still alive, even to some degree in America, is just a piece of shit. Obviously, we've seen all the riots and all the groups that are rising and all this shit. White supremacists, white nationalists, who are really just white supremacists, and all that hoopla, right? So this idea, again, that somehow this is some kind of thing that really is it's more important than Frederick Douglass, it's more important than the Civil War, it's more important than MLK. Nobody's saying that. People are just excited for the Black Panther. I mean, did you guys, I watched Captain America Civil War twice, and when the Black Panther in that movie was dope. I was like, yo, this dude is dope. Like, that was he's a good actor, and it was just a good character to throw in there. Like, I liked it. It's a dope movie, and I'm most likely going to see it. And people are excited because they're like, yes, man, like, this is going to, help kind of push us forward to be able to, to push for more opportunities like this. And honestly, most people are just excited that it's going to be centered around them because everything else is centered around white people. So, I mean, honestly, this isn't even a really big issue at all. Like, I don't really care that much. But the fact that he cares so much is something that really spooks me. I don't know what the fuck is going on here, but You know, again, it's gonna be a good movie. Watch it if you like it. It's not really that big of a deal. It's just a fucking movie. But the straw man that he set up was just so stupid, so massively stupid that I just had to talk about it. And, you know, Ben Shapiro, a complete moron once again.